All praises be to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of GMS. Hey, and peace and blessings to the elect brothers that's out there pushing this truth in all sincerity and the strength of Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi on the four corners of the globe. We are here for the elect and the elect only of the 12 tribes of Israel. Judah, the so-called Negroes. Benjamin, the so-called West Indian Jamaicans. Levi, the so-called Haitians. Reuben, the so-called Seminole Indians. Gad, the North American Indians. Issachar, the so-called Mexicans. Zebulon, the Guatemalans and Panama. Simeon, of the so-called Dominicans. Manasseh, the so-called Cubans. Ephraim, of the so-called Puerto Ricans. Asher's Colombia to Uruguay. And Naphtali is Argentina to Chile. These are the 12 tribes of Israel who Yahawashi is coming to redeem. 1/3 the elect and 2/3 are set up for the destruction. Right? And the destruction draw nigh, and we out here for the elect. So give me 1 Corinthians 15-34. 1 John 3-4. John, go ahead.
1 Corinthians 15, verse 34. Awake to righteousness and sin not.
It said, awake to righteousness and sin not. Right? We're speaking out for the elect brothers, because we know 2/3 are not going to wake to this righteousness. They're going to keep sinning. Right? And we're at the end of this thing, man. We're at the end, and it's time for the elect to wake up and to understand and discern what's going on in these scriptures. It's that time. Brothers are waking up daily. So we're saying awake to this righteousness and quit sinning, because you still have elect brothers who are out there in the world who have to be woken up. And what sin? Give me sin. What sin is?
This 1 John. Get up here. This 1 John 3-4. For whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law.
Transgress means to go above and beyond these statutes, laws, and commandments. You're basically going off your own lust and your own counsel, right? That's what transgression is.
Go ahead. Get up in the etymology. For 1 John 3-4. For whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
It says sin is the transgression of the law, man. So we know the only ones who could sin is who? The nation of Israel. Right? So we won't tell Esau and all them other nations quit sinning, because the laws and statutes were given to Israel. Give me Psalms 147. Go ahead.
It's Psalms. This is Psalms
47.
Yeah, 147-19. He showeth his word unto Jacob.
He showeth his word unto Jacob. This word, right? The embodiment of what's in these pages, he showed to Jacob, right? Who is Jacob? 12 tribes of Israel. Coming from a man, Jacob, right? Which name was changed to Israel. Right? One of Isaac's the 2 sons Isaac had, Jacob and Esau. The covenant was given to Jacob, right? When you read in the scriptures, it was not given to Esau. So he said he showed his word to Jacob. So Jacob, the Israelites, they're the only ones who basically can commit sin. Go ahead.
This Psalm 147-19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Unto Israel. That's plain. Go ahead.
Verse 20. He had not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahawah.
See, and that's the key. He have not dealt with any nation. And for their judgment, they have not known them. So when we say Israel are the only ones who commit sin with that transgression of the law, that's the backup of it, man. The backup scripture for it. Only Israel can sin, man. You other nations, y'all just here playing a part, man. That's why it's all about the elect. Go ahead.
This is etymology online. You got the word transgression. It says from Old French transgression, particularly that relating to Adam and the fall. It says A transgression of the law is classical Latin. A going over,
See?
going across.
See?
Says noun of action from transgressors. Step across.
Step across, right? Go ahead.
Step over.
Step over the boundaries of the what? These scriptures. Go ahead.
Says climb over, pass, and go beyond.
And go beyond. These what the scripture is telling you. They're following after their own counsel, man. Their own lust, man. That's transgression of the law. And that's for Israel, man. Israel are the transgressors, man. So that's why we say only our people can sin. That's why we say awake to righteousness and sin not. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians, this is 15, verse 34. Awake to righteousness and sin not, for some have not the knowledge of the power.
It said, for some have not the knowledge of the power, right? You have 2/3 have no knowledge of the power. Then you even have the elect who haven't been woken up. They don't have the knowledge of the power until that time comes for them to what? To be enlightened and be awakened. And then they will start receiving the knowledge of the power and getting that light and then come out of that obscure darkness. But that's why we out here, man. That's why we come out here week in and week out, earnestly and diligent, man, every week to help wake up these elect so we can get up out of here, man. And to please Yahawah Yahawashi and wait on his return. Go ahead.
It says, I speak this to your shame.
I speak this to your shame. Because when it all boils down, that's what's going to be in the end. We're going to see the shame of the 2/3, man. That never woke to the righteousness of Yahawah Yahawashi. Paul says he's speaking to your shame, man. It's going to be a disgrace. They're a disgrace, and they're going to be shamefaced when they see Yahawashi come back, man. They're going to be head down, man, in the dirt, man, when Yahawashi come back, man. Because everything that they're going through is going to be playing. It's going to play back in their minds. All the transgressions that they have done. He gonna let it play back like a flick in their head before they get destroyed, man. They gonna be shamed. What you got over there, bro?
This Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding.
Come again.
Proverbs 3 and 5. It says, trust in the Lord, which is Yahawah, with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding.
It says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, right? When you look at that word trust, it's a Hebrew word, batak, right? Meaning have confidence, man. You know, be secure in the Lord. Have that confidence that the Lord, if you trust in him, that he got you. You know, that's what it's about. When you trust in something, you have full confidence. So when you see people who fall out the truth, right? They lack confidence, man. They didn't have the confidence in Yahawashi and Yahawashi. They believe in things that's seen. They don't have faith. They're not believing in the things that's not seen. So in Hebrews 11 and 1. You know? And it says, read that again, bro.
Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. So
don't trust your own judgment. Don't lean on your own judgment. Because the scripture tell you in Jeremiah 17 and 9 that the heart is deceitful, is desperately wicked. So how you gonna lean on your own understanding? Your own understanding will get you messed up in a bad situation every time. That's why the Lord say trust in him. Trust in his word, man. But that's hard. That's hard for 2/3 to do. 2/3 cannot do it. But the elect, man, that's why the elect, in due time, all the elect are going to abide. they're gonna come into this thing, man. Go ahead.
Verse 6. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path.
It said acknowledge him, right? And he shall direct your path. He'll make your path be straight up. He'll have your path being a lawful path, man. On a level and an upright position. That's how he'll have it. He'll have you walking that straight and narrow. Even though that path is narrow and it's hard, but he'll help you walk that path, man. You know? You can give me that if you want to, man.
Finish this off. This Proverbs 3 and 6. We'll read that over. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil.
It says, fear the Lord and depart from evil, right? So stay in these scriptures, depart from the mischief that goes on in the world. Basically, you getting out of the world, right? He'll direct your path, that journey that you on, man. The Lord will direct it. He'll have that path level and smooth. He'll have a smooth path, even though you're going to have trials, but the path will be level and smooth for you. It's still going to be hard. It's like a catch-22. Yeah, it's going to be hard, but the path will be smooth. Go ahead.
I got this one in the box, right? In 2nd Ezra. It says, and when I have made an end of speaking, 7:13. Yeah, that's one 7:13 too. It's 2nd Ezra 7 and verse 1. And it says, and when I have made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me an angel which had been sent unto me the night before. And he said unto me, up, Ezra. And I heard the words that I am come to tell thee. And I said, speak on my power. Then said he unto me, the sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great, but put in a case, the entrance would narrow and like a river, right? Then it says, who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it if he went not through the narrow? How could he become into the broad? Question. It says, there is also another thing. A city is built and great upon it a broad field, and is full of good things, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if the fire were and hold on, Salaki.
Okay, so this is
Let me go back. Right? This is like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. And it says, verse 8, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an interest, if he never shall pass through the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
And when he read that passage right there, it really explained itself, because it's saying if you walking on a danger in a path that's small and you got deep waters on this side, that's danger. If you got a fire on this side, it's danger. The only way you're gonna get through is to walk that narrow path and go through those obstacles that are in front of you.
Yep.
Whatever obstacles are in front of you, hey, the biggest obstacles is what? You gonna jump in the deep end and can't swim, or you gonna go through the fire? So you just gonna go through that narrow path, man, and have that confidence that the Lord gonna what? support you and have you, and keep you on that path you're going on to make it upright for you and make it level for you.
Right, and direct your path.
And direct your path, you know. And that's where it is in this truth, man. It's danger all around us, man. Everywhere we go, Satan is there. He on the left and he on the right, trying to throw you off, man. You know, he trying to knock you off that narrow path, man. You know, but I mean, man, that's a beautiful scripture right there.
All right, and this, like he was going into this, like on the right hand and on the left hand, you got, you know, everybody was saying like water and fire, and the answer to that is this right here. It's in verse 12. Then were the entrance of this world made narrow, full of sorrows and travail. They are but few in evil, full of perils and very painful. That's going through them trials, man. Going through them trials, walking on that narrow path, man. You know? So it's danger on both sides. And those are those perils, those travails, those sorrows, you know. That's what you have to go through when you walk that narrow path, coming back to the statute, laws, and commandments and your heritage. Okay? That's what you embracing, man. When you come back to the Heavenly Father and His Son, you have to walk a narrow path, right? Even though we can't keep all 613 laws in this flesh, but we can keep the ones the best of our ability. Okay? Rehearse the righteous acts. And when you do that, keep the ones the best of your ability and rehearsing the righteous act, you walking that narrow path and the Most High directing your path, and you're going to have trials and tribulations, man. You're going to have sorrows, man. You're going to have evil's going to try to pull you out of this truth. Bad times going to try to pull you out of this truth. Whether you've been in it 7 years, whether you've been in it 30 years, you always going to be tested, man. Until Israel get delivered out of this captivity, meaning the elect.